Welcome to the We Get to Do This podcast. My name is Kailee.
And I'm Jacob.
And we are your co-hosts.
In this show, we're going to dive into all things our lives, from our partnership to romance to entrepreneurship to growing our businesses together, our fitness journeys, and we're going to have a ton of different guests on that relate to what I just said in some way. We're hoping you enjoy the show, and if you do,
please feel free to follow us, leave us a 5-star review on wherever you listen to your podcasts, and enjoy.
And if you don't like the show, tough. Thank you.
Hello. Someone's pumped up, literally.
I get psyched for these ones. And I shaved my face.
It feels so nice. You excited for what, Jacob?
Listener questions. This is episode 3 of this.
People are liking these, so we're going to keep it rolling.
Let's jump into it. I
haven't looked at these, so yeah, this is going to be a very spontaneous, on-the-spot questions.
Will you say something again?
Hello.
All right. Here we go. Yeah, look at all these. They're growing. We actually have a bunch of questions. I'm so excited about it.
Hot seat.
Here we go. Question 1. On a separate note, longer runs and the energy gel packets. When do I take them, and how many / per how many miles or time do I take them? Got some from a friend who swears by them on long runs. Good brands? ? Brands to stay away from ? Thank you. Okay, so the question, let's start with this.
Energy packets is in gels?
Yeah, let's start with this. What brands do you like? What brands do you want to stay away from for gels? Don't buy goo. Just kidding. They're fine. That's the only thing I don't like.
Ones to stay away from?
Yeah.
I mean, I have my preferences, but I don't really tell people don't do these because different brands work for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, try as much as possible. Go to thefeed.com.
I prefer to do gels that have the least amount of ingredients and preservatives. So therefore, I stay away from packets like goo. That's personal preference. And if there's one that's better absorbed by your body, awesome.
Yeah. And if you don't want to do that too, we do a lot of organic, like applesauce and baby food and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you want to say what ones you do?
I'm a big fan. So I do, my top gels are Precision Nutrition, BPN, Morton, SIS. I'd say those are my top gels that I like to use. When I'm on the roads, that's pretty much exclusively what I use. And then when I'm not on the roads, if I'm on trail, a lot of times I will do something with less ingredients, like Kailee was saying. That's when I use, a lot of times I'll do bars, actually, like organic apple sauces or just applesauce or baby food, fruit purees, things like that.
I love BPN. There's 3 different flavors. I use a lot of those right now. I really like the organic maple syrup packets. The only downside of those is they get like your hands really sticky. So I try to use those later in the run because I don't like the stickiness. And sometimes it can make your like mouth and stomach a little sour. But they also have organic maple syrup packets that have ginger and like some sea salt in them, and that can kind of help with that like sugary and balancing out the like stomach upset. Which, speaking of ginger, if you are somebody that experiences digestive things, it's not medical advice, but like the little gingin candies can be really helpful, especially I'll probably actually take a couple during the marathon, but I definitely take those during ultras to help calm things down. Sometimes I do Huma packets. They're not my favorite, but I do like the real food with that. Like Jacob said, the food purees. And I was going to say one other one, but I used to do a lot of spring gels. Again, the real food. They've changed their stuff, so I don't do those as much anymore. And I like to race with Morton for road. How often?
I was going to say honorable mention, Huma and Never Second as well. And then if you're doing gels, just check on electrolytes. How often? 50 to 100 grams of carbs per hour is what I recommend. So as far as how often, it kind of depends on your stomach. If you want to take 150 gram packet and you're only doing 50 grams, one per every hour, right? Or you can split it up if you want to do something like BPN. I think theirs are 20 grams. So if I'm doing something like that, then I'll typically do those a little more frequent, like every 20 minutes. If you've never done gels before, start on the lower end of that. Don't start on the higher end of that. You'll end up with gut distress, likely. Yeah.
I've been doing about every 30 minutes, taking a BPN gel or syrup. And then I've also been carrying a handheld with the BPN G1M Sport Plus. So then I'm getting in.
No liquids. That's what gels.
Just giving what I do in practice. So that's why I'm doing less than that 50 carbs, because that'd be about 40-ish carbs per hour plus then the powder. I found that works very well for me to get in extra carbs and electrolytes, because the G1M Sport Plus also has a little bit of caffeine. So I'll sometimes do that or the regular GNM Sport.
Yeah. Hack, drink your carbs. Big fan. I think I do pretty blanket statement for myself, 25 to 50, depending on how spicy I'm feeling, every 20 to 30 minutes. And then I drink 160 calories of carbs, which what's that divided by 4? 40 grams per hour, probably, give or take, maybe 90 minutes.
And I've also been trying to be really intentional with even if I only have 2 to 3 miles left, but I'm on that half hour mark, I still take a gel because I know that it's going to help me for recovery with the rest of the day and then not making me so tired for the rest of the day and then also help with recovery into the next day. So don't skip that last one, especially because that's training, marathon training. You don't want to, if you're at mile 23, 24, that could potentially help you get past the finish strong and not muck.
Next question. These are going to be fun. What do you recommend for watches?
Well, I used to be an Apple girl pre-Jacob, and I used to be a hardcore Apple fan. Once I started doing more workout interval stuff, I switched to Garmin. I have the Garmin Epix Pro 2. To be honest, it's not the best for long distance on trails. It has died on me during Javelina, and which was not, died around 70. But then I got to run based off of feel for the last 30 and I actually ended up going a lot faster. But it's great for roads. People talk about Coros all the time. Coros has a superior battery, I feel like, compared to the other brands. I tried one for a little bit. I didn't love it. I didn't love the screen. I didn't love how it works. So I ended up returning it. But I do know there's a lot of people who do really like Coros. I think we just talked about Garmin's kind of like the OG. They've been around a long time. They have a lot of different features, and that's what I went with. It also has a little flashlight, which is fun. I actually use the flashlight way more than I thought I ever would.
Turns
What's
the
yours?
flashlight on. It's amazing.
It's handy.
Yeah, I don't really have an amazing opinion on this, to be honest. When people ask me, I've worn only a Garmin for the past 10 years. So until someone sponsors me and gives me a different watch, I honestly can't really give you opinions on other ones. Kaylee's tried other ones, though, so her opinions are a lot more valid than mine. But, I mean, I have the Garmin 965 right now. I've ran with the Forerunner. I think the Garmin Forerunner specifically, when people ask me this as a run coach, I usually say Garmin Forerunner. It's or that first level Coros. I don't remember which one that one's called, but those are both very cost effective. And
the classic running, if you're purely using it for running, the Forerunner is a great option.
Awesome. Yeah. Again, I have the 965. It has a flashlight, which is sick, and the maps look cool on it. Other than that, not sure it's worth the extra $300 because I don't really know what else it does beyond the Forerunner.
Yeah, and I like the Epix Pro because I chose the smaller screen for mine because I have smaller wrists. And it has the cool rose gold, which I like.
I do like how you can put music on the watches. However,
I never
use it.
I always have my phone.
Yeah, because I want my phone with me most of the time when I'm running. I don't know why. Probably don't need to do that.
Yeah, I know some people really like doing the music on there.
Yeah.
I just don't do that.
This is a fun one that Kaylee got asked by a client. Kaylee, do you win marathons? How did you get faster? She is currently putting some noodles on the oven, but I'm going to let her take it away on this because someone asked her this. So, and I said, we are going to answer that on the podcast. So Kaylee, how do you win, or do you win marathons, and how did you get faster?
Well, it's really sweet, and I really appreciate that someone asked that.
You do win races.
I've never won a marathon.
Like a month ago.
Never won a marathon. I have been first female in a 5K. Never say never. I don't know if I'll never win a marathon, but as of right now, we are not winning them. But yeah, I think her question overarching was, how did I get faster? Because I said that I'm way faster now than I ever was in high school or college. And my response when people ask these things is I've been consistent for the last 15 plus years. I guess less consistent back in like high school and college, but especially the last 5 or so years, I've been very consistent with running throughout the winter and having now a training plan in the last couple of years. And I've just stuck with it and I've found the joy in running. And when you enjoy and actually like doing something, you'll probably get better at it. And then strength training and being consistent with that twice a week has also helped just excel me a lot further. Because I used to get out of the seasons with shin splints every year. And by now, being more consistent, having strength training, not getting shin splints has allowed me to keep running. So there's like so many benefits of it. Because if you're constantly getting injured, it's very hard to get faster and better.
Great answer. I also don't win marathons. I've also never won a race in general. How did I get faster? I think the key to this game is staying in the game. Kind of like Kailee just said. And if you look at your training right now, whatever it is that you are avoiding, it's probably what you need to do more of. Whether that's strength training, whether that's stretching, or that's flexibility, that's also stretching, mobility, nutrition, sleep, recovering harder, things like that. Mindset. Yeah. And to put it even simpler, if you want to get faster, blanket statement, you probably need to either run more frequently, or run faster. Next question. What do you wear for shoes?
I've been a Mizuno girl my entire life, basically. I tried on a Brooks like 10 plus years ago and did not like them. I'm sure they have changed significantly since I wore them, but I've worn Mizuno's, specifically the Wave Rider. I've probably had 10 to 12 plus editions of the Wave Rider. Most recently, I've started venturing into Nikes, and I started using the Nike Pegasus last summer. Really liked the Pegasus. And then most recently, I've been wearing the Nike Vomeros, which have more cushion to them because I wanted to see how that would change my shin stuff. And I do really enjoy the Vomeros, but they've been giving me blisters in my arches. And I've heard that from somebody else too. So during long runs, I've been using my Trail Toes foot lube to make sure that I'm not getting blisters, but that part's kind of annoying because everything else is great about them. I've never really gotten foot blisters from roads, so I feel like my next pair might be another pair of Pegasus, but I've been switching off. And then for speed days, I wear the Saucony Endorphin Speed. I've been doing those for the past couple years. Really like those shoes. They make me feel fast. They're not super shoes, but they're a step above trainers. And then for trail, I've done Ultras. I've done the Mizuno trail shoes, the Mizuno Daishis. For Javelina, I mostly wore the Nike Zagamas. Really liked those. But those were a little tighter, so I ended up switching into Ultras at the end because the Ultras have a wider toe box. So when my feet are more swollen and hot, then it's nice to switch it up with the Ultras. But I've never actually tried Ultra road shoes, but I do like them for trails, just not all the time because there's a lot less support. But if you're looking for like a zero drop, it's a great option.
I find Ultras tend to wear out quicker too.
I feel like my trail ones actually last forever. But
well,
I don't know. I feel like with trail, it's a lot harder for me to tell if they're worn out than my road shoes.
I agree with that.
Because I've had some trail shoes, I feel like forever, and I'm like, are these still good? Are they not?
I think it's because trail shoes are usually just so firm and just cup your foot. So right out of the box, they never really a lot of road shoes you run and you're like, these feel like pillows. And you can tell when they were down. But most trail shoes I've ever owned, I feel like they're just way more firm and supportive in that way.
Yeah, and it's also hard because I usually keep track. You can keep track on Strava or the Garmin app of how many miles your shoes have. And with races, when I switch, it's hard to keep track of the miles on the shoes. So I never really know. What's yours?
Well, if you look in my closet right now, you'll see I have a lot of shoes. And they didn't ask about what kind of running shoes. They just said shoes. So I'm going to just tell you all my shoes that I wear. So in the weight room, I really like Noble. The quality isn't amazing, but I also wear mine every single day, where most people would probably wear them 1 or 2 times a week while lifting, and they usually last me about a year. So take that for what it is. I also like Reebok Nano a lot. If you're looking for weight shoes, my kind of daily shoes, if I'm trying to go more minimal, I'm looking at a Converse or Minimals. Check out Delaney shoes on the podcast. I wear those still a lot.
Love my Minimals.
Otherwise, I've got some boots. I've got some dress shoes, but I'll save you the details. I got those no cons. You have to ask us about that. Yeah, look them up. But running wise, y'all, Mountain Coast, sponsor us, because there is not a shoe brand that I like more than Mountain Coast. The only issue with Mountain Coast is they do not have a plated shoe. See, that's my only gripe. Otherwise, there's my go-to for trails. That's my go-to for roads. They have a high cushion road shoe. They also have a more moderate cushion road shoe, so you don't If you want both, like I do like to have both of those, you can have both. If they enter the scene with a racing shoe, I'm probably never buying other brands, to be honest with you. I will also put an honorable mention out there right now, though. The Asics Mega Blast is so bitchin', y'all. That shoe is incredible. It's like the closest thing to a plated trainer without having a plate. I love it. I love running in that one. And that's probably the majority of what I run in, honestly, right now. It's either Mount Coast or that Asics. Plated wise, though, my favorite plated shoe of all time is so far the Saucony Endorphin Elite. I also really like the Mizuno, blanking on the plated name. That's their plated shoe for like half marathon down. I haven't ran a marathon in them. They're really good and fun for like 5K to 10K distance, whereas the Elites have a little more cushion.
I definitely want to try Mount Coast, and they're known for lasting a really long time, which I appreciate.
Yeah, y'all, my Mount Coast, I have a pair of Mount Coast right now. I just ran in them, did 9 miles on them yesterday. They have about 430 miles on them. Obviously, they look like dirty. There's nowhere. There's no like holes in them. There's like some little wrinkles in the bottom. It's crazy. If I threw them in the washing machine, they'd look like they have like 50 to 100 miles on them. It's insane. Highly recommend. And they send you a shoe bag when you buy shoes from them. But don't buy directly from them necessarily. Go support anymore. Local. Plus, also, we have shoe bags now. So buy them from us. $10. Hit us up. All right, last question for today. Who has had the biggest impact on your running journey?
It's a good one.
It's a real good one. It's a real good one. And we have 3 minutes to answer it. I will let Kailee go first.
One person?
I actually have my answer if you want me to go first.
I feel like I have a few.
Not to quote Matthew McConaughey, but I'm going to basically give the Grammy speech that he gave, except for it's for my previous self. So if you haven't heard that speech, go check it out. Chills. And if you haven't read his book, read his book too. But my biggest influence in running is myself, specifically when I was younger. And I'm running for that person and making him proud. Also, running for the people like that person that needed someone to show them that you can do this sport, no matter who you are or what you look like. So that's the number one influence I've had on my running journey. I've had a lot of great mentors along the way, and I have a bunch of names that are popping in my head right now. I'm going to name one other person as an honorable mention. That would be my younger brother, Nick Oak, as a huge influence, and my older brother, Josh Oak, as a huge influence. Josh got me into running for sure. Nick made me want to get better at running and push my limits as well. So I think those three, and I hope they both, specifically Nick, run more in the future so that they can run with me more. Because ironically, I don't run with them anymore, which is very sad because they both got me into it. So there we go. What's yours?
Yeah, I also had a bunch of names pop into my head, but as far as biggest overall influence, I probably would not be in the trail world, still running and really enjoying what I'm doing. If not for my mom's influence. She's gonna love this. But yeah, we ran my first marathon together in 2012 for grandma's. We did my first 50K together, 50 miler. She was there for my 100 miler, 200. I didn't really even understand what trail running was until she started getting into it. And I got to watch her find a love for running in her 40s. And yeah, I definitely don't think I would be where I am today without her. And she's still a very kick-ass runner, and it's very inspirational to see her journey and everything that she's done, and definitely appreciate her support a lot. So thanks, Mom. I know you listen to this, so we appreciate you. Thanks for getting me into running.
Thanks, Mom.
Another listener episode.
Wow, that was great. Hopefully, we answered a bunch.
Yeah.
We answered more this episode than we did last time. And guess what? We have like 15 more questions. So you'll see us again soon. All right. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Wow, Kailee, we made it through another episode. What do you think?
We would love if you would go give us a follow, a 5-star review, and comment on the episode and what you liked and what you'd like to see more of.
See you next time.
We get to do this.